If you've been keeping an eye on the crypto markets lately, you probably saw something, well, kind of incredible happen. After what felt like forever, the entire market just lit up green, and we're going to break down exactly how and why that happened.
That's right. Everything is green. And after a long stretch of sideways action and uncertainty, seeing a screen full of green it's just a beautiful thing. But what we saw wasn't just a little bump. No, this was a massive shift across the entire crypto space.
So let's first just try to wrap our heads around the sheer scale of this move. We're not talking about a little ripple here. We are talking about a full-on tidal wave of money that just washed over the whole market.
$260 billion in a single 24-hour period. That is how much new value flooded into crypto. I mean, to put that into perspective for you, that's more than the entire value of a company like Netflix or Disney added in one day. Just wow.
And what's really fascinating is just how widespread these gains were. I mean, sure, the big players like Bitcoin and Ethereum had really healthy jumps, but that confidence, it flowed everywhere. The real standout here was SUI, which just exploded, rocketing up almost 19%. This shows it wasn't just about one coin. The whole ecosystem was rising together.
Okay, so seeing all that green on the screen is great. We love to see it, but it immediately brings us to the most important part of this whole story. We know what happened, but now we got to ask the $260 billion question.
Why? Why now? What was the catalyst for this? Because a move this big, this sudden, it doesn't just happen randomly. This wasn't market noise. This was triggered by one single event, one decision that completely changed the game overnight.
And the short answer, it comes down to one name, Vanguard. Now, for anyone in the world of traditional finance, that name carries an enormous amount of weight. And for the crypto world, well, Vanguard was always the name of one of the biggest gatekeepers. And basically overnight, that gatekeeper decided to unlock the door.
So who exactly is this giant that just decided to wade into the crypto ocean? To really get why this is such a massive deal, we need to take a closer look at Vanguard.
To put it simply, Vanguard is an absolute titan of the investment world. They are the second biggest provider of ETFs on the entire planet. And ETFs, as you know, are that key financial tool that lets everyday people easily invest in a whole basket of assets.
And just look at this number. This gives you a sense of their scale. Vanguard has around $11 trillion in assets that they manage. That's trillion with a T. Is a number so huge it's almost hard to comprehend, and it represents a massive slice of all the invested capital in the world.
So the key thing to remember here is that this isn't some small niche firm. They are a global giant. They manage money from millions and millions of regular people. In fact, if you have a retirement account, like a 401k, there's actually a pretty good chance you're a Vanguard client and you might not even know it.
Okay, so now we know who Vanguard is. Let's connect the dots. How in the world does one company's policy change lead directly to a $250 billion market surge? Well, it all comes down to one word: access.
Here's exactly how it went down. It was like a chain reaction. See, before this, Vanguard's millions of clients were straight up blocked from buying any of the new crypto ETFs. Then, Vanguard just flipped the switch, and suddenly, all of those investors had a safe, regulated, and super easy way to get exposure to crypto. That new access opened the floodgates for a tidal wave of capital, and boom, the market surged.
And we have the receipts. I mean, you just have to look at the trading volume for BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF, IBIT. The second Vanguard gave the green light, the volume on it absolutely exploded. This wasn't just speculation. This was real, serious institutional money pouring into the market through these brand new channels.
And this really gets to the heart of the whole thing. For years, the biggest roadblock for crypto has been getting access to that big, institutional-level capital. The deep, stable pools of money that give markets legitimacy. A policy change from a gatekeeper like Vanguard isn't just a crack in that wall. It's like a whole section of the wall just came crumbling down.
So, a huge barrier has been shattered, but this is really just the beginning of the story. The really exciting part now is to think about what this all means for the future.
Because Vanguard, as big as they are, was just the first domino to fall. Just as the market was trying to process this shockwave, another one started to wobble. Just hours later, another financial behemoth signaled they were getting ready to jump into the ring.
That's right, Bank of America. With their absolutely massive wealth management division, they also signaled a major move toward providing crypto access. And this is what turns a single event into a real paradigm shift. We're now seeing some of the most conservative financial institutions on Earth finally stepping into the crypto space, creating this huge sense of FOMO, fear of missing out, at the very highest levels of finance.
So the floodgates for institutional money are, without a doubt, creaking open. That $260 billion surge, it might not have been a one-time event, but maybe just the first wave of a much, much larger sea change. And I think the question that we're all left with now is this the new normal?